DePaul community members, welcome to episode 4 of our Back to Campus Vodcast. We hope that you are safe and well this week as we head into our fourth week of classes. So as always, we're going to start off with some announcements before we introduce this week's guest. So if you haven't heard, we've got one big exciting announcement to share with you all. The city of Chicago recently entered phase 2 of the vaccination process here within the city limits. So this means that all Chicagoans age 16 and older are currently eligible for the vaccine. So DePaul made a resource site. You can find it at go.depaul.edu/COVID vaccine. But there it'll talk a little bit about where you can go to find the vaccine, how you can make an appointment, and answer some other basic questions. So if you haven't yet had the opportunity to get it, we encourage you to check that out. Then in terms of on-campus regulations, everything has remained the same since last week. So if you tuned into this part or in weeks past, you'll know some of these current regulations. So we're still in phase 4 of the Restore Illinois plan. All on and off-campus student organization gatherings currently require DHub approval. You can do that through your DHub portal. So just log on to dhub.depaul.edu and click events and get registered for that phase 4 event approval form. Gatherings are still limited to 50% of room capacity and no more than 50 people. And then we still are not allowing overnight travel, and travel is still limited to the immediate counties surrounding Cook County and Cook County itself. As always, you can continue to find more information on this at go.depaul.edu/campuslife. Then in terms of capacities for the student centers, everything continues to remain the same as weeks past. So as you're looking to make those reservations, be sure to take a look at this and keep these in mind as you are picking out a space. So I'm really excited today to bring in this week's guest. Joining me is Megan Evans from the DePaul Euchre Club. So Megan, thanks so much for joining in.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so I'm excited to, I guess, formally introduce the Euchre Club to the community here, because I have absolutely loved following the Euchre Club this year. And Megan, I'm hoping you can tell us a little bit about the Euchre Club and what you all have been up to, and specifically what you've been doing on campus.
Yeah, so DePaul Euchre Club is a playing card game. Basically, we've been really fortunate to be able to have some on-campus events. So every other week, we're in the student center on the 3rd floor with a small group playing Euchre. And even though we still have to play on our laptops, it's really easy to do so. And it also allows us to connect with our remote members. So you can join us in person or you can join us on Zoom, and we can all still play cards together, which is really nice. But yeah, that's been great.
Yeah. So Megan, can you tell me a little bit about why you decided to start or restart in-person gatherings for the Euchre Club?
Yeah, so about sometime during last quarter, it finally occurred to me that we could have on-campus events. And I was like, oh my gosh, a lot of our members are close to campus. The ones who aren't can still join us on Zoom. Why don't we start having events again? And so we scheduled some meetings for last quarter. And then this quarter we have, an official schedule of meeting every other week. And we really wanted to take advantage of, the space in the student center that's available to us that we're able to use. And also it's really easy to get that space because not a lot of student orgs yet are coming back to campus. It's super easy to reserve that space in a good amount of time. So, yeah.
So Megan, can you tell me and our viewers a little bit about what the process was like to get your events approved? Do you have to get every event approved, or did you do one bulk approval early on in the process?
Yeah, pretty much. For approval on DHub, I made all of the events at the same time. And then those all just got approved, just a recurring event, And then on the pretty much every other week, when I know that our in-person event is coming, I'll make the reservation for a specific room. So I just go on to EMS and make that reservation 2 weeks in advance. It's super simple, really quick process, and then it just goes through approval. But yeah.
Well, and I think that'll be especially great to hear for our student organization leaders who are listening, the ability to go in and make a reservation 2 weeks in advance. I don't think we've ever had that kind of access to spaces. And, it's like you said, we're not having quite the same robust on-campus presence. So reservations really are easier right now than they've been in the past.
For sure. Yeah, I would definitely recommend student organization leaders, get your clubs back on campus if you can, because it's just been so refreshing to feel like normal a little bit, again. So I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah. Well, and I imagine when you get into your facility, obviously your org is following all of I've seen some of the videos and pictures that you all post on your social media. You're all wearing masks, you're all social distance, but I imagine Student Centers has all of that set up for you when you get into the room, right?
Exactly. It's so easy. Like we just tell them like what kind of shape or like, what we want, like one table, one chair, that kind of thing. And then it's all set up by the time we get there, all ready to go. There's not really much preparation that I have to do, which is great.
Yeah, which is always preferred, right? Like
Yeah.
if you can walk into a facility and everything's ready to go.
Exactly.
Well, Megan, thank you so much for taking some time to join us today and just talk a little bit about the Euchre Club. If people are curious to find out more, how can they find out more information about the Euchre Club?
Yeah, so find us on DHub, just search up DePaul Euchre, or you can follow us on our Instagram page at DePaul Euchre. We post a lot of memes, a lot of pictures from our events, and then, of course, information about our meetings.
Well, and I just, I have to say before you leave, I think one of my favorite reasons that I've loved following the Euchre Club this year is, one, I think you all really have done a great job of engaging both on campus when you've been able to, and keeping those remote students involved, like you said, through using your laptops while you're on campus, but also because you all are open to members year round. Like I know we're still in spring quarter, but I imagine new students could still come in and join the Euchre Club at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a game that you kind of pick up along the way. Of course, you don't have to know how to play it to join. You can come in anytime. We'll teach you. If you do know how to play, great. But yeah, you can join anytime. It's never too late. I don't think because it's spring quarter that you can't join. Just join us and then maybe stick around for summer or the next year. You can come back with us. But yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And I know we've had a lot of students right now, especially that either live in the residence halls or who live at ION, that are looking for those connections. So it's great to know that an organization like the Euchre Club is still open to them.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, Megan, thanks again for joining us. I appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing what the Euchre Club has in store next.
Great. Thanks so much.
Yep.
Bye.
All right, so just a couple more announcements before we head out from this week's vodcast. So just wanted to put a reminder out there for other upcoming on-campus events. This Wednesday, we're going to have mini golf taking place in the Lincoln Park Student Center from 7 to 9 p.m. That's, of course, open to all DePaul students to come in and join in. Just a reminder, when you come into the Student Center, you do have to show your Campus Clear app. So you'll just show that at that front door entry, and then you'll be able to head right in. Then also, if you missed the announcements last week, I just wanted to make sure that everyone knows about the virtual town hall that happened 2 weeks ago now about the return to campus. All of the information can still be found in Newsline if you're curious and want to hear more about plans at a much larger level. It was a 2-hour recording, so they went over a ton of different detail about different things that are planned for all of our students' return this fall. Then always, if you didn't hear, we are planning for some on-campus graduation celebrations. So we're getting ready to celebrate the class of 2021. There's going to be a few virtual ceremonies and offerings as well. But you can go to commencement.depaul.edu to get full details about all of the different things that are planned, and also to get a reservation time. That's one thing that is specific to note. You will have to sign up for a time in order to participate in these graduation activities. But as always, thank you so much for taking the time to join us for this week's Back to Campus Vodcast. If you have any questions about on-campus gatherings or about the current regulations on campus, you can go to go.depaul.edu/campuslife. We're also, feel free to reach out to us here in the Office of Student Involvement. We're happy to answer your questions as they come up. But until next week, we hope everyone stays safe. Bye-bye, Blue Demons.